the last weekday game of the season. A little matinee on a Wednesday afternoon. The Miami Marlins and the Milwaukee Brewers. Good tailgating weather out there today. Just a beautiful afternoon. Roof is wide open and a good pitching matchup. We got Tom Kohler on the mound. Pitched against the Cardinals his last time out. Pitched pretty well. And Willie Peralta, 7 shutout innings against the Phillies his last time out. Hi, everybody. We welcome you from Miller Park. Great to have you with us here this afternoon. Glad you could be with us. Alongside Bill Schroeder, I'm Brian Anderson. Telly Hughes, our reporter this afternoon. All right, Willie Peralta's on the mound. The Brewers have lost back-to-back games, so you're looking at Peralta as the stopper. And since coming back from the DL, Rock, looks like he may have turned a corner. He's got back-to-back 7-inning games.
Yeah, 3 of his 4 starts since coming off the disabled list have been very good. He did have that one blip on the radar screen against San Diego, but his last 2 have been very good against St. Louis and Philly. He's 1-1 in that stretch, 14 innings, 3 runs, and as you mentioned, he did throw 7 shutout innings against the Phillies. Although he gave up 6 hits, it was one of those games where Willie had a lot of men on base, was able to make pitches when he needed them. He was able to pick up a win. So Willie Peralta is starting to pitch a little bit more now like he did a year ago.
Well, Peralta went on the disabled list with an oblique injury. Actually, each side had injuries to the obliques that shut him down for 2 months. He's got great numbers against the Marlins. One of his great games ever was against the Marlins a few years ago. He went 8 shutout innings and just 2 hits allowed. And he'll have the fish when we continue from Miller Park. Got to talk offense, though. The red-hot Marlins, they're swinging it as well right now as they have all year. Craig and Davey will talk the Fighting Fish when we continue from Miller Park.
Save big money at Menards on all your home improvement needs. And by Miller Lite, the original light Pilsner. Cheers, it's Miller time. What a day here in Milwaukee. Had those storms blow through last night. It is ideal for baseball, and We're happy to have you with us here this afternoon. Marlins and Brewers ready to battle here from Miller Park. Davey and Craig back aboard with you. And tell you what, you look at what the Marlins have been able to put together. They've scored 15 runs offensively in just this series so far alone. But go back 3 games, and this team has gone fishing for runs, and they've found the right trick to do it, that's for sure.
Well, they certainly have. They've been swinging the bat very well. You know, and they're quality hits. You're not seeing a broken bat hit here, a bloop here. They're putting good swings on the ball, and they're in that type of a groove right now, Craig, and they're hitting the ball hard and solid. And when you're in a groove like that, you know, you get a lot of 2-out rallies because guys are putting quality swings. And the other thing is that when the ball's out over the plate, they're not missing it.
Those 2-out rallies you talked about yesterday, they scored all 9 of their runs with 2 outs. That's only happened 2 other times in baseball this season across the majors. Series finale is on the way. Brew Crew needs one before they head out on the road, and they'll give the ball to Willie Peralta. Enjoy.
Beautiful Wednesday in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Brewers baseball today on Fox Sports Wisconsin, brought to you by Potawatomi. Book your stay now. Roof is open. Good to see it that way. After the rains came through, we are set up for a gorgeous Wednesday afternoon. Great to have you with us here today. 74 degrees is our game time temperature. And the Brewers are trying to make it a winning homestand. They've got a chance to do that with a victory today. And Willie Peralta will lead the Brewers out onto the field this afternoon. Willie Peralta against Tom Kohler of the Marlins. There's Dan Jennings, skipper of the Marlins in his first season. And many wondering if it will be his last season as a major league manager. He's been a long-time general manager and executive for the Marlins and across Major League Baseball. Got a big scouting background. Let's check Jennings' lineup today. It's brought to you by Potawatomi. D. Gordon leads off. And then Martin Prado, followed by Derek Dietrich. Middle of the order for Jennings is Justin Bour, Marcelo Zuna, and Cole Gillespie. And then the bottom 3, JT Realmuto, Miguel Rojas will get the call at shortstop, and Tom Kohler will round it out. That's the starting 9 that will face Willie Peralta, his 4th start since coming back from the disabled list.
Yeah, he's 2-2 in his first 4 starts since a 2-month stint for oblique issues. 3 good starts, 1 bad. His last 2 have been very good. We talked about that on our open today. 6th career start today against the Marlins. So far 2-1 and a .220 earned run average. He's pitched well against the Miami Marlins throughout his career. Well, let's check out the Menards Brewers defense today. The lefties back in the lineup with the right-hander Kohler on the mound for the Marlins. Davis, Peterson, and Braun in the outfield. Herrera, Segura, Jeanette, and Lynn from third to first. And Martin Maldonado getting a rare start behind home plate. No Jonathan Lucroy this afternoon.
That'll be Ben May calling the balls and strikes today. Doug Eddings over at first base. The second base umpire is Adrian Miller, and the crew chief is at third. The man who had the plate last night, Bill Miller. All right, all the pieces in place. We're ready for baseball today from Miller Park. Enjoying the best of Miller Park from both sides of it, with the rains coming through the last few days, with the roof closed, dry inside Miller Park, and then today open it up and full of sunshine. Lead man Dee Gordon, the hits leader in Major League Baseball. It'll be Gordon, Prado, and Dietrich. No Ichiro in the lineup. No Echeverria in the lineup. Couple of starters that are out. Giancarlo Stanton and Christian Yelich still on the disabled list. Stanton is swinging the bat once again. They're hoping to get him back soon. He's been out with a broken hand, a wrist injury, the hamate bone. And Yelich is out with a back injury on the DL, their Gold Glove outfielder. And he's right back at it, isn't he? Dee Gordon with another hit. Boy, this guy is something.
Yeah, 148 hits. He leads the National League in hits so far this year, and .333 batting average. That's second in the National League, and really gets one out over the plate, and Gordon able to bang it into center field. So a good start for to the day for the Marlins. They scored 15 runs in 2 games in this series.
Craig and Davey talking about their offense. That's what it looks like right now for hits. Not only does Gordon lead the NL, but baseball as well. Prince Fielder is the American League leader in hits. And Gordon hits and he steals bases. He has 38 stolen bases this year. Marlins are clicking on offense. And Craig and Davey talking about how to slow this team down. One thing, you got to keep Gordon off the base paths. That's what helps set them up. Martin Prado's been hitting third. They move him up into the 2 spot today with Derek Dietrich in the 3-hole. Not hitting a whole lot of home runs since Stanton went on the disabled list, but the Marlins are pecking away here at the Brewers. They got a win on Sunday in St. Louis and have won the first 2 games of this series. They've won 3 straight.
Hit a lot of balls hard in this series, and they've used a pretty good approach using the whole field.
There goes Gordon. Maldonado's throw to second into center field. And it's a stolen base and an error right away. And the Brewers cannot get away from the errors. They have been very costly in this series. And Maldonado right out of the gates commits an error. The Brewers committed 2 yesterday.
Yeah, good throw, and he throws out Dee Gordon. I mean, the throw beat him there, but it sailed on Maldonado. Maybe a little bit rusty behind home plate. Hasn't had too many opportunities back there. Lucroy's been getting most of the catching, just about all of it.
And a ground ball to second. Prado is going to drive in a run just like that. The Marlins are on the board. Single, stolen base, error, ground out. And Willie Peralta, just 7 pitches into his start, is behind 1-0.
Pretty much shows you what Dee Gordon provides the Miami Marlins. I mean, a single, all of a sudden he's at third base with nobody out, and they get a run. Reminds you a little bit of the days of Paul Molitor used to do that.
The Igniter, an appropriate nickname. Here's Derek Dietrich. Last night, Dietrich, hitting 5th in the order, had 2 hits, scored a couple of runs. He walked. He was 2 out of 3. Hit a long home run earlier in this series as well. That was on Monday night. Brewers swept the Phillies. They got swept by the Cubs on the road, came home, swept the Phillies. Feeling pretty good. Lost 3 in a row, or won 3 in a row after they had lost 4 straight. And then have played 2 poor games.
Yeah, nothing's really going right in these first 2 games, and not a very good start to the first inning.
2 balls and a strike. Dietrich in the air, right center field, hit well. Braun is on the run, and it is gone. No, it's off the top of the wall. I beg your pardon. That came back in play, and Dietrich is just in there with a double. Now that hit the top corner of the fence. I thought it caromed out, but instead it came back in.
Yeah, right on the corner, and Ryan played it pretty well out there in right field, made it a pretty close play at second base. Dietrich thought it was out too. There you see it, right on the corner. And Braun able to get it in the air and make a good throw into second base, and nearly gets Dietrich at second.
Well, that hit perfectly on the edge. You rarely see it bounce like that. It either pitches forward and on into the bullpen, or it comes straight down back onto the playing surface. So that is a bad break for Dietrich. Good break for Peralta. Missed a home run by inches. And a runner at second with 1 out for Justin Bour.
Yeah, maybe just an inch, right? Another inch that would have carried into the bullpen.
Much cooler temperatures here today than we've had over the weekend and the beginning of this series this week. It's been extremely hot inside Miller Park, especially with the roof closed the last 2 days. But it is glorious today, so maybe the ball not quite carrying as much as it has the first 2 games of this series. Still warm in the sun, though, for sure. Great scene there. All the kids, a lot of camps, bringing big bus loads here to Miller Park. Summer is coming to an end. It's a little bit sad right now. Teachers are getting ready for school and getting their classrooms in order. We wish you all the best. Thinking about you, the real heroes. Parents rejoicing. Kids are on their way to school soon. Two and two on Justin Bour. Marlins big first baseman. He took the collar last night. Despite 13 hits by the Marlins, Bour was 0 for 5. And it goes 3 and 2 now.
That's good sinker, 97. That power sinker for Peralta. That's been a good pitch for him in his first 4 starts since his return from the disabled list. A 2-seamer. He's got the good velocity back.
He's had a couple of good starts after a poor showing his first time back from the disabled list. He has managed back-to-back 7-inning performances. Peralta returned on the 28th of July in San Francisco. His last 3 starts have been here at home. This is his 4th start at home since coming back. His 5th start overall since the injury.
Yeah, really only 1 bad start. That was against San Diego here at home. 6 innings, 6 runs in 3 1/3 innings. Other than that, he's been good. They need him to pitch well. They need him to pitch well the rest of the season and be that guy next year.
17-game winner last year was Peralta. And they're hoping he can get back to that form for next season. There's a swing and a drive deep right center. Bour watching this one go. That was a rocket out of here, and Justin Bour has given the Marlins a 3-0 lead with a 2-run homer.
Who are these guys? I mean, these Miami Marlins been swinging the bats. They got 3 in the first yesterday and 3 more in the first inning this afternoon. Goodness. Yeah, slider to Justin Bour that stayed right down the middle of the plate. Way back out there in center field. Up off those iron struts out there holding up the scoreboard.
Tell you what, that's a Giancarlo Stanton line drive quality right there. That had some serious heat coming off the bat. 3rd hit of the inning, 3 runs are in. Dreadful start for the Brewers again. Boy, this is not the way Willie Peralta wanted to get going today. You're looking at him as your stopper today after back-to-back losses. And the heavy hitting Marlins are coming out swinging the bats. There's a broken bat. Ozuna is out number 2.
And Justin Bour gets a slider that stayed up in the zone. You can't hit it much harder than that. He hit one to left field that was hit pretty well last night, but caught out in left right at Chris Davis. 103 miles an hour off the bat.
Yeah, you hit him with a velocity off the bat over 100 miles an hour and you get any elevation. Those are usually the ones you see that end up in the seats. Came in at 97 and it left at 103. Actually, that was a breaking ball, huh? Came in about 82. Cole Gillespie with 2 away. Yesterday, Gillespie in the first inning drove in 3 runs with a triple. He was 2 for 4 yesterday. That was with 2 outs. And Peralta's fallen behind him, 3-0. Gillespie's a former Brewer farmhand. He was traded back in '09. Felipe Lopez was the big leaguer that came to the Brewers, trying to help him in what they hoped would be a pennant race. Didn't materialize that way. And Gillespie rolls to Segura to end the inning. But the Marlins are back at it. 3 runs in, 2-run homer by Justin Bour. Unfortunately, the Marlins have 3 on the board already against Craig Counsell's Milwaukee Brewers. Counsell very disappointed at the way the Brewers have played in the first 2 games of this series. You could see it in his face, hear it in his voice after the game yesterday. Potawatomi batting order for the Crew today. Shane Peterson in the leadoff spot. He's got Jeanette and Braun at the top, and then in the middle it's Lynn, Davison, Herrera, Segura, Maldonado, and Peralta round out the starting 9 against right-hander Tom Kohler. And this guy's starting to emerge as one of the more reliable, consistent starters for the Marlins. He's been an interesting guy that has gotten better and better each year, Rock.
And not a whole lot of luck. I mean, 8-10 the record, but a very good 368 earned run average. You look at the hits to innings pitched for Kohler. He's only allowed 119 hits in those 134 in the 3rd innings. He doesn't walk too many. He's made an awful lot of starts on the road as of late, including today. 7 of his last 9 starts have come away from home.
Had a good start last time out against the St. Louis Cardinals. And he'll face Shane Peterson to get his day started. There is strike 1. Kohler is a strike thrower. Combine the walks and the hits per innings pitched. They call it whip, and his whip at 128 right now.
Pretty good.
He's 29 years of age. And Peterson gets sawed off. Little flare in the right, and that'll be Gillespie to make the catch, one away.
Check out the Miami Marlins defense today. Yeah, one of the better defenses in the National League, although they've been kicking it around a little bit in this series. Dietrich, Ozuna, and Gillespie in the outfield. You got Prado at third. You got Miguel Rojas, no Hechavarria at shortstop today. He's committed 3 errors in this series. D. Gordon, Justin Bour at second and first, and JT Realmuto behind home plate.
Bour with that 2-run home run in the first, the big slugging first baseman, giving the Marlins the early lead here today. And here's Jeanette. That is foul. Not by much. Scooter making a bid at an extra base hit. Scooter's been out of the starting lineup the last couple of days with 2 left-handers starting for the Marlins in the first 2 games of the series. But he does have a pinch hit double. And he is 6 for 10 on the homestand. Most of that damage coming against the Phillies.
Yeah, hitting around 300 since being called back up from the minor leagues. Yeah, there's the numbers you're talking about. June 11th amongst National League second basemen. Currently ranked 4th. You see D. Gordon in the second spot in that category. D. Gordon overall second best hitter in the National League. Batting average, hitting over 333.
Now that was the date he was recalled from AAA Colorado Springs, June 11th. That 292 batting average. Also 19 runs batted in. Jeanette, another little flare. That's foul, and that is going to be caught by Prado. So 2 jam job pop-ups. And 2 men are out here in the first inning.
Yeah, Prado's got some pretty good movement on his fastball. He's got the 2-seamer. He can get it up there at about 95 miles an hour. He's got a cutter, a changeup, and a curveball, but it's basically going to be fastball cutter. He will mix in the off-speed stuff as the game goes on. Big kid, very aggressive in the strike zone.
6'3", 233 out of New York. That one misses inside. Ryan Braun with 2 away. Sitting on 21 home runs this year. That tied him with Robin Yount. His 21st homer was Sunday. Robin Yount's franchise record for home runs in a career. And Braun is right there with him, 251. And from here on out, every home run he hits will establish a new franchise mark. How many will he hit? That is the question.
Got a lot of time left.
A contract that runs through the 2021 season if it maxes out. So a 5-year deal that will, an extension that'll kick in. That's whistled right to Gordon for the final out of the inning. So Braun is retired. 3 up and 3 down for Kohler. 3-0 Marlins. Hey, today's broadcast is on the American Forces Network, watched by U.S. Armed Forces around the world on land and ships at sea. We welcome all of you watching in on the U.S. Armed Forces Network. Peralta back to work. JT Realmuto at the plate for the Marlins. Talented young catcher there, very high on in Miami. Got the start on Monday night. Last night, Tomas Talis caught for the Marlins. Marlins carrying 3 catchers on their current roster, along with Jeff Mathis. He's the other.
Got some veterans on that bench today for Miami. Casey McGee, Mathis, and Ichiro.
Yeah, that's a solid bench right there.
Ichiro with 4 hits yesterday.
And their starters are scoring a bunch of runs, and Peralta's off to a very shaky start here. 3 hits, 3 runs in the first. He walks Realmuto to start the second inning. Marlins have put the Brewers in a pitching funk, at least starting pitching. Miguel Rojas, who gets the call at shortstop today, takes a ball, and Maldonado is on his way out to chat with Willie Peralta.
Now, if anybody knows Willie Peralta, better than maybe Willie himself, it's going to be Maldonado. These guys have been together a long time, down in the minor leagues.
Yeah, before last season, Peralta and Maldonado were battery mates pretty much every time out. Ron Renicky changed that last year and needed Peralta to be able to pitch to either of the catchers. There's a swing and a miss, and the runner Realmuto will make it to second with a stolen base.
Well, catcher running. Yeah, the Marlins have been taking liberties on the Brewers running the bases.
Realmuto is a catcher who can run. He's got some speed. That's his 5th stolen base of the year.
Marlins stole 3 bases in the 5th inning alone in yesterday's game.
Another one in the dirt. 2 balls and a strike. A base hit. Realmuto around third, and he's on his way in. Braun's throw is late, and it is another run. 4-0 Marlins. RBI single by Miguel Rojas.
You see the approach that these Marlin hitters have been taking in this series. It's been pretty impressive. Rojas able to hit that one hard, and between first and second into that big hole. See fastball away, but it was up, but Rojas able to hit it hard in the right, and the Marlins catcher with good speed able to score easily. So the bottom of the order getting it done and picking up a run for the Marlins today.
And the pitcher Tom Kohler up there to bunt. RBIs from Prado. Justin Bour hit a 2-run homer, and now Rojas. And a good bunt. Peralta's only play is first base. So a sacrifice for the first out of the inning, but Rojas into scoring position.
Obviously, Craig Counsell has something to say to Willie Peralta at this point. Not sure what it is.
Maybe a little bit of a body language issue. The way he fielded that ground ball, that bunt right there.
A little nonchalant, like he was being put out having to field the baseball, and that's a one-sided conversation right there for Craig Counsell. Maybe just trying to fire his pitcher up and get him straight.
I haven't seen Counsell do that in his managerial tenure, but you could tell it's been boiling a little bit with the Brewers manager. He understands where the Brewers are right now, trading away a lot of their pieces. It's the start of a rebuild here, but his expectations are clean baseball, smart baseball to execute, and the Brewers have just not done that the last 2 days. So they may be a little short on talent, but that doesn't leave any room for mental mistakes, throwing to the wrong base, poor throws from the outfield, errors.
Be prepared, know where you're throwing the baseball, hit the cutoff man, don't make base running mistakes, which are all things the Brewers have been doing in the last couple of days. Well, they didn't do that against the Phillies.
And it all starts on the mound as well. You know, you get a pitcher who is struggling as Peralta is today, as Tyler Cravey did yesterday. It just sets everybody up. That's why those pitchers, that's why they make the big bucks, because they carry a lot of the burden each and every day. Marlins already have 4 on the board. Gordon slashes one foul in the seats. I think everybody's all right down there.
Regardless of what's going on around you, whether your pitcher is struggling or not, I mean, you still have to play smart baseball. It really shouldn't matter what the score is, where you are in the standings. Everybody has to be prepared to make a play when the baseball comes to them.
There's a swing and a miss. Peralta with a nasty slider comes back to strike out Gordon.
Now this is the breaking ball that you remember from Willie from last year, going straight down, good pitch, and Gordon just waves at it.
Two outs now. First strikeout for Peralta. Here is Martin Prado. Drove in a run with a ground out in the first. Prado had a hit and 2 RBIs last night. His 2 RBIs were big. Brewers were mounting a comeback. Had a 4-run bottom of the 4th to take it from a 7-0 deficit to 7-4. They were right back in the game. And then the very next inning in the 5th, Prado with 2 outs drove in 2 runs with a single in the right center field. All 9 of the Marlins runs came with 2 outs.
That's something.
That's the first time and the most in franchise history for the Marlins. They've never done that. Another ground ball to short. And that will retire the side. So after the meeting at the mound by Counsell, Peralta comes back against Gordon and Prado.
Friday, August 28th, and all fans at the ballpark for the Friday night showdown will receive a Brewers t-shirt courtesy of Arise Health Plan. To reserve your spot, call 902-4000 and go to brewers.com today.
Those are my new favorites right there.
It's a good look.
That'll be a fun weekend. Enjoy it out at Miller Park before school starts up. Not that you can't enjoy it when school begins, but nice to have a little bit of summer left. Adam Lind leads off. Brewers go in order in the first. 1, 2, 3. And Lind takes a strike. Lind got a start on Monday. Did not start yesterday with the two lefties for the Marlins the first 2 days. But Lind did bat last night and represented the tying run in the 9th inning, believe it or not. Brewers scored twice and then loaded the bases. And Lind was up there as the tying run. Walked on 4 pitches.
Yeah, it didn't appear that Ramos wanted much of him in that bases loaded situation. He had Herrera on deck, so Lind took 4 pitches, drew the walk, but Herrera struck out right after that to end the game. So the Brewers able to get the go-ahead run, the winning run, to the plate last night after all that happened to him in that game.
Now you appreciate the fight last night. Brewers just need better pitching right now. Cyclical, works back and forth. The Brewers had a nice series against the Phillies. Teams are where they are in the standings for a reason at this point, but there's so many changes. When you look at teams that are in last place or in the bottom of the league, like the Marlins and the Brewers, there are so many changes as Lind draws the walk. Sometimes you just don't know. You got a lot of players that have a lot to play for, and I think it can work both ways. I think that you can try to do too much.
Well, you get real good play, you get very inconsistent play, because you know, you got guys that are trying to figure it out at the big league level and trying to win jobs for next year, and that's just the way it goes. Everyday player, you know, guys coming off the bench. I mean, they're bench players for a reason. They don't have that consistency that is required as an everyday player.
Chris Davis in the left field, and it is gone. A home run. Just like that, the Brewers with one swing right back in there. 13th homer of the year for Davis. 2-run shot.
And they come in bunches for KD, and he's in the midst of one right now. Had a couple of 2 home run games on the last homestand. So 6 home runs in a matter of a couple of weeks. Nice easy swing and a fastball down the middle. Knocks it out of here into that Brewers bullpen. Powerball home run count number 13 for Chris Davis. There we go, right back in it.
4-2 Marlins. Davis now with 38 runs batted in. He's had 2 multi-homer games in this stretch, and he'll have plenty of time to do it again. That is just the second home run allowed in the month of August, and the first home run in the last 3 starts for Tom Kohler.
He's got the 2-seam fastball working for him, and he pitches in a pretty good pitcher's ballpark, although only 2 of his last 9 starts have been at home this year.
Yeah, his last 2 starts on the road in St. Louis and on the road in Atlanta. Big curveball gets Herrera. First out of the inning, first strikeout for Kohler.
Kohler has had 12 straight decisions, so his last no decision came way back on May 30th against the Diamondbacks. So when he's out there, he's been able to eat up innings for the most part, at least 6 innings in 11 of 12.
Starts Segura with a strike. The Brewers shortstop comes in batting .260. We've seen Segura in the leadoff spot the last 2 days, but with the right-hander on the mound, Counsell able to rearrange his batting order. Shane Peterson hitting leadoff today. On the ground right to Gordon. And this will be out number 2. Kohler held the Cardinals to just 2 runs on 5 hits across 7 innings his last time out, but took a loss. That was on August 14th. So he's lost 4 straight. Had a win against San Diego on the road before the string of 4 straight losses. A big overhand curveball drops in for strike 1 on Maldonado. Kohler's just gotten better and better with each month until the month of August. He had a 7-run outing against the Mets in his first start in the month. A record of 8-10 in his 23rd start. He actually made an appearance in relief. That was against the Braves on May 16th. He went 3 innings in a relief appearance.
Well, still learning how to pitch at this level. Really only his 3rd season as a regular starter for the Marlins. 10-10 last year, 381 earned run average. Not too bad. Numbers pretty good.
He was an 18th rounder in 08, so he had to pitch his way into prospect status. Had a great year in Double-A on his way up, and he was just a guy that performed well at every level. And then there was a year in Double-A with the Marlins. He's a homegrown product. He was 16-2 and an ERA around 2.5. Made it to the big leagues in 2012. Maldonado draws the walk. So the 8th place hitter is aboard. That'll allow the pitcher spot to clear.
Very good patience from Martin Maldonado. It hadn't had too many at-bats in the last month or so. Lucroy getting just about all the catching starts. One of the most difficult things to do is go up there and try and stay patient at the plate. You know, your instinct is you want to just swing at everything, get some hits.
Got a man on for Peralta. Starting to see those shadows creep out as we get into the late summer. And that'll be tough on the hitters. No big deal right now, hitters say, but once it gets out about halfway to the mound, and then for the next hour, hour and a half or so, because as those shadows come across, that's the shadow of the roof line, and then it can be a challenge. Peralta strikes out. Kohler went right after him with a breaking ball to end the inning. A couple of Ks for Kohler, but a couple on the board courtesy of Chris Davis. Home run into the Brewer bullpen makes it 4-2 Marlins.
Hotel and Casino. Brewers get on the board to cut the Marlins lead in half as Willie Peralta gets set to hopefully work a first clean inning here in the third inning. And before today's game, Craig Counsell announced that the Brewers will go with a 4-man rotation starting after tomorrow's off day. And with all the off days coming up, they will keep that 4-man rotation through their series in Cincinnati in early September. So adjustment made. Tyler Cravey, who made his 5th big league start yesterday, will move to the bullpen, and the Brewers will go with a 4-man rotation. BA.
All right, Telly, thanks. And a lot of managers, especially in a season like this, you'd stick with a 5-man rotation. You're trying to get as many reps. You're trying to look at guys. It's the end of the year, a lot of innings. Maybe you're checking innings, but I think part of it has to do with Cravey and Loesch's struggles. The other part has to do with Willie Peralta, who actually needs to build up his innings after spending too much on the disabled list. So there's a lot of reasons for that.
Yeah.
I think if Peralta is in there with a lot of innings pitched, and maybe you're trying to protect Taylor Youngman's innings and Jimmy Nelson a little bit, then you go ahead and stick with a 5-man and just use the off days, and everybody gets an extra break. But there are multiple off days, and so that changes things.
4 of them in 12 days. I mean, that's excessive for off days. But I think if Tyler Cravey was pitching well, they wouldn't be doing it.
Right.
I mean, bottom line, Tyler has not pitched well since his first start, his major league debut at St. Louis. And really, Craig Counsell feels as though that they can get by without him, making starts for a while.
Well, it will be interesting to see if the Brewers are going to continue with as many pitchers as they are carrying right now. 13-man staff. The Brewers are playing with just a 4-man bench, so you wonder if they're going to add a position player, because they're not going to need that extra starter. And you could get a little more flexibility. The Brewers are going to Washington, D.C., so you got a National League matchup over the weekend, but then an interleague matchup with Cleveland. So you ask yourself, what would you rather have, more pitching or more hitting?
They need a DH. You have, that'll shorten your bench. Right now, the Brewers carrying 4 position players, so you add the designated hitter. That's a 3-man bench.
There's a slow roller. Jeanette's there, trying to get a tag on, did not get the tag there, and Jeanette makes a play to first base. So that doesn't go as an error, but you'd much rather have the lead out and have Bour running at first as opposed to a runner in scoring position. It's just been the way things are going for the Brewers, just not making good decisions.
Yep, and not out of the baseline, just kind of a wave over there trying to tag him. Dietrich does a good job avoiding it, and he stays on the bases. You see, not out of the baseline. You get 3 feet either way from your direct path where you started. It's not 3 feet from base to base. It's where you start your run toward the next base.
So it just goes as a good old-fashioned 4-3 ground out to retire Bour. Marcell Ozuna with a runner at second base, and another broken bat. Herrera will make the play. 2 swings by Ozuna, 2 broken bats. And 2 men out for Peralta here in the third. Two outs, runner at second for Cole Gillespie. Gillespie, since his Brewers minor league days, has bounced around quite a bit throughout his career. Did make it to the big leagues with the Diamondbacks after the Brewers traded him there in 09. That was a July trade. And then Gillespie ended up with the Giants. Got a little big league time with the Cubs 2 years ago, the Mariners, and the Blue Jays last year. This is his first year with the Marlins. And a shot. Jeanette got a piece of it, but it'll trickle into center field, and it's a base hit and an RBI. And nobody fields the ball in center, so taking second base is Gillespie. Has got an RBI hit And he ends up at second base. It is 5-2 now.
Man, not sure why it took so long for somebody to grab that baseball. Jeanette actually got a glove on it. Hanging slider. Willie gets out of the way. Scooter knocks it down and trickles out into short center field. And by the time Scooter gets up, he finishes his roll. He tries to get out there, and by the time Peterson gets to it, Dietrich able to score. So there you go. That that tag play by Scooter Gennett allowing Dietrich to get to second base cost the Brewers a run.
It's going to be scored a double and an RBI for Gillespie. That extends a hitting streak to 10 in a row. JT Realmuto at the plate for the Marlins.
Has just been very inconsistent with his breaking ball today. And the fastball's been pretty good. Not a lot of damage on the fastball. He's got good sail to it, good movement, good velocity, but hanging a lot of sliders today is Willie Peralta. There's another one.
And a fly ball foul.
And got away with it that time.
It looks like Realmuto jammed himself. This is a player to watch right here. JT Realmuto. Comes with high praise. He looks like a very athletic catcher. He's kind of in that Jonathan Lucroy mold. He moves well behind the plate. He's quick. And the Marlins feel like he's going to be a hitter in the big leagues. He is out of Oklahoma. Midwest City, Oklahoma. He's only 24 years of age. He was in the big leagues last year. Briefly, just 11 games. This is his first full season, his rookie season in the major leagues this year. Ground ball to Gennett. And that will retire the side. And the Marlins keep scoring runs. They've scored in every inning so far. 5-2 Fish. Of the third inning, and a reminder that it is time for the annual Milwaukee Bucks golf event benefiting the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation. This year's event is on Tuesday, September 22nd at the River Club of Mequon. 11 a.m. shotgun. Sign your foursome up today. You can go to foxsportswisconsin.com, click on the upcoming events tab. Well, between innings, Scooter Gennett running into his manager. Craig Counsell is not pleased with the way this one is going thus far, and Counsell meeting Gennett just as he steps down into the dugout. And you can feel it ticking a little bit for Craig Counsell. He is extremely frustrated, and he is letting his players know about it.
Nothing wrong with that. Nothing at all wrong with that.
And Jeanette, just a mental miscue. Doesn't go as an error, but it certainly helped establish a scoring chance for the Marlins, which they cashed in on. You never know how the inning's going to go after that, but Brewers got to play better. That's all there is to it.
Well, one way it could have gone better. You know, you tag Dietrich out and you have a man at first, and then remember Ozuna hit a ground ball to third. It might have been a double play. But things are different. I mean, you know, all things being equal. But Craig Counsell probably telling Jeanette, look, if you have that choice again, get the out to keep the man out of scoring position. You want to, get that lead runner if nobody else.
Especially with nobody out. Brewers are at the top of their order here in the third inning. Peterson out in front. Kohler, he's got a good one going today. Strikes out Shane Peterson. His curveball today has really set him up. Davis had the 2-run home run, but Kohler's got a nasty curveball going.
Yeah, that's one of those true curveballs going straight down. Not much of a right to left break to it. Straight down, that 12-6 rotation. Big overhand curveball for Tom Kohler.
Here's Jeanette now with one away. And just lays the bat on it. Fly ball to left for out number 2. I want to say hello to a big Brewers fan watching today, Nancy from Neenah. She's enjoying the broadcast. Always there in good times or bad. Good to have you with us, Nancy. Thinking about you today.
It's up there north of Oshkosh. Neenah, Menasha area.
Powerball home run leaderboard. Ryan Braun tops the list with 21. Ryan's just outside of the top 10 in home runs. His next homer will get him back in there. Bryce Harper is the National League leader in homers with 30. He's making a run at an MVP. 2-horse race for me right now in the National League. Bryce Harper and Paul Goldschmidt. I would say. Goldschmidt leads the National League in RBIs, and he leads the NL in batting average.
Question is, are either one of those teams that they play on going to make the postseason?
You think about the Nationals and the Diamondbacks and say, well, Bryce Harper plays for a contending team, but you realize that Arizona is just 2 games under 500. The Nationals are at an even 500. Arizona's actually quietly been playing very good baseball.
And Washington's lost 7 of 10.
Mets lead the Nationals by 4.5 games in the East. Brewers are going to see those Nats. Bryce Harper and the Nationals coming up Friday, Saturday, and Sunday in D.C. Nationals did win yesterday. Gave up a lead in Colorado, but then came back and won big. Full count to Ryan Braun. Tried the curveball. He missed with it. That'll be a 2-out walk. It's one of the few he's missed with in a key count. Kohler, and he will have to deal with Adam Lind now with a man on.
Yeah, 1 hit but 3 walks allowed by Tom Kohler. The 1 hit, a home run by Chris Davis.
Well, the Brewers have made their lone hit count today. Davis with that 2-run homer, his 13th. Gonna have to slug with the Marlins, it looks like. They've scored a ton of runs in this series. You figure without Yelich and without Giancarlo Stanton, Marlins had some holes in their batting order. But they are swinging the bat well as a team. That one's a hot one right past the diving Bour into right field. Braun's on his way to third. And Adam Lind with a 2-out single. And the Brewers trying to drum something up here with 2 away. A walk and a hit. First and third.
Hit that one hard. By the time Bour was able to react, it was by him. Holding the runner on, he had to hold on Ryan Braun. And check this out. This ball is by him before he's even able to react. And Braun able to get into third base. Let's see if Chris Davis can do it again. And Brewers starting to get some better at-bats.
Second hit to go along with the 3 walks. And here is Davis, who homered on the first pitch he saw from Kohler. And he's swinging again into left field. Did he get it? That is way back. And goodbye. Chris Davis. Another home run. His second 2-run homer, or second homer. It is a 3-run shot. And just like that, we are tied at 5. How about it?
Well, yet another multi-home run game for Chris Davis. That's 3 now in 2 weeks. Well, the first pitch fastball, his first time up. This is the first pitch curveball. That stays up out over the plate, and Chris Davis not letting it go by. I would imagine he was looking with that pitch, knowing that Kohler wasn't going to challenge him with a fastball again. Got it, left it up, and we're all tied.
For the 4th time this season, he has a multi-homer game. And it's just the 5th of his career. He had just 1 multi-homer game prior to this season. And that's his 3rd in this window of home games in July and August.
All coming with 2 outs and nobody on.
Yeah, how about that?
That sound familiar?
5 runs batted in for Davis in his first 2 at-bats. And he's seen 2 pitches.
Yeah. That's all you need to hit 2 homers.
So it gives him 14. That pushes him over 40 runs batted in. He now has 41 ribbies. The big chill is on his game. There's a little flare falling fast. That's down a base hit. And Herrera singles to keep it going. 4 consecutive base runners with 2 outs.
This is what the Marlins did last night. 2 outs, nobody on in a couple of different innings. And in those 2 innings, scored 6 runs. You know, Chris Davis said, what are you guys talking about shadows? They don't bother me too much.
On a home run binge, you said, Rocky, hits him in bunches, and boy, is he ever hitting him in bunches in the month of August.
Yeah, 3rd 2-homer game for Chris Davis in less than 2 weeks. That's 13 days. First one came on May 25th. That's what happens when you give the kid playing time. He's playing every day, and that's what you get out of Chris Davis.
Segura off the barrel, but right at Gillespie to end the inning. It's the Chris Davis show today. The Marlins have put 5 on the board, but so has the big chill. Chris Davis crushes one, his 2nd homer, and we're all tied at 5. 5 on the board for the Brewers. He's tied it up. We're all even at 5 going to the 4th. Don't forget, you can tweet us each and every day. Send us your strongest fan photo. Use hashtag WisDataStrongFan, and you just might see yourself in an upcoming broadcast. It's brought to you by T-Mobile. Willie Peralta has got new life after giving up 5 runs on 6 hits in the first 3 innings. His left fielder single-handedly getting him back in the game. Let's see if Peralta can put up a 0 here. This is an inning to try to establish some ground if you're the Brewers starter right now.
This is where you step up. This is where you find out what you're made of, and you dig deep. You know you don't have a consistent breaking pitch today, so let's see what Willie can come up with here in this 4th inning.
Miguel Rojas leads off, and out in front of that one, ground ball to Segura. He's been busy today defensively.
Yeah, which is a good thing, meaning ground ball outs. Segura playing just about every single day.
That's his 4th chance on a ground ball. Most of the outs for Peralta are ground ball outs. Matter of fact, all of the outs, with the exception of the strikeout to Gordon, have been on the ground. So that's a good sign. It's just what's going on in between all that.
All the base hits have been elevated pretty well. Home run, a couple of doubles.
Kohler, the pitcher, at the plate. The 2-out scoring in this series is interesting. Brewers just got 3 with 2 outs. All 9 yesterday by the Marlins coming with 2 outs. Those are punches to the gut for the opposition just when you think you're out of an inning.
Yeah, 3 runs today, 2 outs and nobody on. The Chris Davis home run last night for the Marlins. They scored 6 runs in 2 different innings where they started with 2 outs and nobody on.
3 balls, 2 strikes on the pitcher, and he walked him. Yeah, he can't do that. So Kohler is aboard. Turn the lineup over now, 3rd time through. And here comes Deke Gordon. Carsoup.com trivia: who led the majors in pinch hits and set the Brewers single season record with 22 back in 2002. That was the year the All-Star game was here in Milwaukee. 2nd year at Miller Park. So a good one. Think about that. I believe he's in the ballpark tonight. Or today.
The way this one's going, it'll turn into tonight. A lot of scoring.
Yeah, last night's game lasted nearly 3 hours and 40 minutes. Every inning there were men on base, pitchers grinding away. The Brewers actually had a couple of comebacks after being down 7-0 yesterday. Brought the tying run to the plate in the 4th, and then they brought the go-ahead run to the plate in the 9th. Before falling to the fish, 9-6. He's talking to himself. He's trying to fight his way out of it. Anytime you see Willie Peralta fall off the mound like that, you can tell he's not quite in his mechanics the way he wants.
Very inconsistent, not repeating his delivery every time. That's when you see most pitchers have a difficult time throwing strikes, good quality strikes. That's why you get the inconsistency with the breaking pitch.
I would imagine this has been a bit of a humbling season for Peralta. He's never been on the disabled list until this year. He was supposed to miss 1 start. As Gordon lines one to Segura, that's going to be an easy double play. Picking on the pitcher at first base. Gordon hit it right on the nose, but right at Segura. And that's a break for Peralta. He puts up a 0 for the first time today. Wisconsin is brought to you by Marshfield Clinic. Don't just live, shine. By Piggly Wiggly, the official supermarket of Fox Sports Wisconsin. And by Hupy and Abraham. 800-800-5678. Hupy and Abraham. Tell them you mean business.
Well, a scoreless inning for Willie Peralta as we head to the bottom of the fourth inning, all tied at 5. And you can get the famous vintage Brewer bobblehead by coming to Miller Park on Sunday, August 30th, as the Brewers battle the Reds. All fans will get an old school bobblehead featuring the Crew's 1970 uniforms. That's courtesy of Sendik's Food Markets. For tickets, go to brewers.com today.
Brewers about to head out on a road trip. Got a day off tomorrow, a team day off, and then a road trip beginning in D.C. Friday. Washington, D.C., and then Cleveland before returning back to Miller Park. Just a 5-game, 6-day road trip. All tied at 5 as we head to the Brewer fifth. 2 home runs by Chris Davis. 2-run homer in the second, 3-run home run last inning to tie it up. Tom Kohler back to work. Marlins trading away 2 of their starters, and they've had a number of injuries in their rotation. They've traded away Matt Latos and Dan Herron. Jose Fernandez coming back from Tommy John surgery. He was really soaring, and then he had to go on the disabled list as well. So the Marlins are without their ace. Been that kind of year for Dan Jennings, who went from the general manager's office to the manager's hot seat. Maldonado into left center field. Dietrich for out number 1.
You don't see that very often, do you? Is that a first in baseball? General manager naming himself as manager? And
I believe so.
Never heard of it before.
Bobby Cox was a general manager and then managed, but he had managerial experience.
Right,
I mean,
right.
that was really the difference. Jennings had never managed or even coached at the professional level. Peralta into right, hits it hard, but Gillespie is there, and it's out number 2.
I would imagine there's going to be a few managerial vacancies very soon after the season ends this year.
I think you're right.
And a lot of opportunities for perhaps some young kids, young guys recently retired to get an opportunity. We're talking about Mark Kotze. He would be a great choice. I think that's a trend these days. You know, whether the old school baseball people like it or not, you know, guys that haven't had a whole lot of experience.
There's a base hit for Shane Peterson, a 2-out single. Brewers just need to start innings with 2 outs. They'd be all right. Snaps an 0 for 14 for Peterson. And he is 1 for 3 today.
Just continues to get his hits. You're right. I mean, he's got a good approach up at the plate. Doesn't try and do too much. Hitting around 280. I'll take that for a season.
And now Jeanette, who is 0 for 2. Been swinging early in the counts against Kohler, and he's swinging away here. First pitch fastball. Jeanette, little cue shot. That's down. Base hit. He didn't hit it all that well, but hit it just enough. Just out of the reach of the shortstop Rojas.
Didn't try an overswing. Just got the end of the bat on. It was a curveball from Kohler. It's been a good pitch for him. He's really only made one mistake with that curveball. That was that homer to Chris Davis last inning. It's a pretty good pitch that Scooter's able to just fight off and dump just out of the reach of Rojas.
You wonder if Echeverria is able to make that play.
Rojas just arriving to the big leagues from AAA New Orleans. Here's Ryan Braun with 2 on, 2 out. Well, we're all tied at 5. Brewers got 3 with 1 swing of the bat with 2 outs last inning. And here is Braun, a chance to give the Brewers the lead. On the ground, Rojas, nice play, goes to second, and that will retire the side. So Braun is out. He strands 2. All tied at 5. 4 in the books here at Miller Park.
And Casino. It's a tied ball game here in the top of the 5th inning between the Brewers and Marlins. Time to check in with the crew and the community. For the 12th year, Brewers Community Foundation will have the pleasure of hosting an exclusive evening with Hank Aaron tomorrow night at 5 o'clock. The event will be held in the Johnson Controls Stadium Club at Miller Park and will include cocktails, dinner, and special guest Commissioner Emeritus Bud Selig and Henry Hank Aaron in conversation. All proceeds from the event will benefit the Hank Aaron Chasing the Dream Foundation, which is administered locally through the Boys and Girls Clubs to help children realize their dreams. B.A.?
All right, Telly, thanks. Great piece on our Brewers Live pregame today. Davey remembers. Davey was walking us down memory lane with his encounters with Hank Aaron, who actually gave Davey a bat during Davey's playing days, and then he would later get that bat signed. What a great ambassador Hank Aaron has always been. Loves Milwaukee. That'll be a great event this evening. There's the bat.
It's
Henry Aaron special.
Yeah, Henry, and he signs it, Hank.
Gave him the bat, and then he had him sign it years later.
Yeah, talk about commanding a room. You know, Davey Nelson does that, but I'm talking more or less of Henry Aaron. Mr. Aaron, as we call him when you go up to talk to him. Hank Aaron was the pink tie guy last year, Doug and Ellen Melvin's pink tie event.
Nice. 3-2 to Prado is a little bit down and out. Ball 4. I think Peralta thought he had a strikeout. Prado walks, and a leadoff walk here in the 5th inning, and Maldonado is on overload right now. Sports Psychology 101 today. Maldonado has spent a lot of time with Peralta.
I don't blame him, though. That was a pretty good pitch. I mean, not sure why Ben May didn't call it a strike. I mean, we'll see what Fox Tracks has to say on it, but that looked like a strike. I think that's what Maldonado is talking about with the home plate umpire.
Here's Derek Dietrich. Shows bunt, drops it down, tough play. Peralta bare hands, throws, and it hits Dietrich. This is going to allow Prado to advance. That's going to be another error on the Brewers.
Well, let's see if was Dietrich in the running lane. I'm not sure. It's it's not reviewable. Interference is not reviewable. So according to the home plate umpire, it's going to go down as an error. Allowing Prado to get over to third base, I think. Not sure if he's in the running lane. Does he allow Adam Lind to make a catch on it? It doesn't look like both feet are in the running lane, but not reviewable. Interference is not a reviewable play.
So that'll bring up Justin Bour. First and third, nobody out. And a bouncing ball. Jeanette is there, flips it to Segura. Low throw, and Lynn can't dig it out.
I just can't get it right today, can they?
Another run is in. The run was going to score anyway, but the Brewers don't turn the double play. No error there. You cannot assume a double play, but another miscue by the Brewers.
Well, it's about as easy as it gets, and Gene Segura just throws it away. That's a tough hop for Lynn, that in-between hop. He does keep it in front of him, keeping Bour at first, but they should have been able to turn a double play. No excuse for that. And they are going to give Willie Peralta an error. I was wondering, it was taking a while to an error allowing Prado to get to third base. So 2 errors now for the crew.
Yeah, sacrifice bunt and then an E1. That allowed Prado to go to third. Prado scores the run that gives the Marlins the lead. And Ozuna into right field, hit fairly deep. Braun with room for out number 2. Two-men are out for Cole Gillespie, who drove in a run with a double in the 3rd inning. Marlins jumped out 4-0. Davis hit a 2-run homer in the 2nd to make it 4-2. Miami scored another run in the 3rd to make it 5-2, and then Davis came back up again in the 3rd, hit a 3-run home run to tie it. Now the Marlins have regained the lead. They've scored in every inning but the 4th. 6-5 on 6 hits. Brewers with 2 errors after 2 errors yesterday. No balls, 2 strikes on Gillespie. Ground ball up the middle. Jeanette makes a play, and tough play for him. Tried to take a shot, throwing it to Segura. Would have been close anyway. That'll go as an infield hit. Seeing eye ground ball by Gillespie, his 2nd hit of the day, and the inning continues for the Marlins with 2 on and 2 away.
Yep, an 0-2 base hit for Cole Gillespie. And Jeanette shading up the middle. I'm not sure they would have had a play on him anyway. That's an impossible throw for Scooter. Just kind of a prayer flipping it out there, but no harm, no foul. Base hit, and it continues.
And continues for JT Realmuto. Realmuto walked and scored. He had a stolen base in that second inning. Scored a run. He grounded out his last time up. And a ground ball foul. Nice pick over there. The doppelganger of our pregame producer, Brad Weimer.
That's a nice beard.
He's a player.
Ball boy or Brad?
Both. One and two. He powered a fastball by him.
Never actually seen Brad Weimer play baseball.
He's not quite fantasy camp age yet. Speaking of fantasy camp, Rock, did I hear that right? Bob Uecker is going to be making an appearance at fantasy camp?
Yeah, announced Robin yesterday. He's going to, Robin's going to appear a couple of days.
That's a breaking news tweet today I saw.
Yep, and Bob Uecker, kind of nailed Ueck down the last couple of days, so he's going to be coming around for lunch, signing autographs, taking pictures, kissing babies, although babies aren't allowed in the clubhouse.
2-2 on the way, and a chopper to third. Herrera. Throw to first. Close play. Just out. Realmuto can run.
And Brewers are not scurrying off the field too quickly.
Marlins might want to take a look at this one. First base umpire Doug Eddings made the call. And then Jennings wants to.
He's safe.
Yeah, he is. He beat it. This inning's going to continue. They're going to go to a challenge here.
Yeah, that's Doug Eddings missed that one, according to our angle. According to my new HD monitor that I got this homestand.
Just now. Well, Jennings wants the umpires to take a look.
Yep. This is not going to take too long.
So we go to a challenge. Foot on the bag, ball not in the glove.
This should take all of 15 seconds.
The rock line is 90 seconds. The Bill Schroeder imposed.
But that's on a tough call. That's on a real close call. This isn't even close.
I didn't know there were different levels of the rock line, but
I mean, if this one takes 90 seconds, there's something wrong.
So the rock line doesn't apply here. There's a rock line B that applies in a spot like this. What's
right
that
here.
number?
See, this is where they're going to get this one right.
Okay, there you go. He's safe.
What's that? 30 seconds.
That comes underneath the criteria of the rock line on a clear call.
The 90 second self-imposed time limit.
Yes.
It has to do with if they can't tell if they're going to overturn it or keep the call on the field. I mean, if you can't determine that in 90 seconds, then call on the field stands.
I could not agree more with that statement. That's why I'm in. And we're going to name it the rock line.
Yeah.
So the bases are loaded now.
Realmuto gets down that line pretty good for a catcher, doesn't he? I mean, that's about as routine a play as you can get in the big leagues at third base. I think Ilion took a little bit too long to get rid of it. I think he was thinking about second base first. Then he changed his mind, went to first base, and got it over there too late.
Rojas got his call to the big leagues this year when Stanton went on the disabled list in late June. Little tapper foul. Rojas getting the start today for Echeverria. Not many starts at shortstop for the Marlins. Echeverria, one of the great young defensive shortstops, had just 6 errors coming into this series, but he committed 2 errors yesterday, had 3 errors in the first 2 games.
Yeah.
The 0-2 pitch. Rojas. Did he go? He did not.
And ordinarily that means a guy needs a day off, and that's why he's probably not playing today. Give him a mental break, maybe a physical one as well. And he's been impressive this year, talking about Echeverria. Not so much in this series.
Rojas had an RBI single in the second inning. It's a big pitch for Peralta. Bases loaded. 2 outs and a called strike 3. So Peralta able to get out of it. Does give up a run, but strands the bases loaded. Inning is over. 6.
After the 5th inning, and today's time of the game winner, Linda's Lookout in Watertown. If they call the Brewers in the next 24 hours, they get 40 Miller Lite beer pen tickets to a Brewers home game this year. It's offered courtesy of the Tavern League of Wisconsin and Miller Lite.
Linda's Lookout. All right. Well, let's see if the Brewers can give them something to cheer about it. Linda's Lookout. Down a run, we head to the bottom of the 5th. A lot of offense today. 6-5 is our score. Marlins just took the lead here in the top of the 5th, and now the Brewers coming up. Adam Lind will lead off. Lind, Davis, and Herrera. Chris Davis has been the headliner so far. 2 pitches, 2 homers for Davis. 5 runs batted in.
And I hope he walks Adam Lind again, because both times Davis has hit a home run. It's been in front of a walk or behind a walk.
And Lind hits it sharply into center field. A base hit. Boy, he has hit 2 line drives. He walked in the second and then back-to-back singles now, and that sets up Davis here in the 5th.
Just ripped into center field that time.
Chris Davis, second inning, first time up, first pitch. And a big fly into the Brewers bullpen. That made it 4-2. And then this one on a first pitch curveball from Kohler to make it 5-5. 2 pitches, 2 homers, and he's taking all the way and takes a strike.
You just see the way he's taking pitches today, that he's just feeling comfortable up there at the plate, seeing the baseball, not jumping at it. That front shoulder stays still, head stays still, and that's why he was able to hit that curveball so far. Wasn't trying to open up and pull it. Ended up pulling it, but didn't try to.
Yeah, big swing.
Not the slider that time.
It's such a compact, powerful swing does Davis. Lind over at first, and Davis strikes out. So a fastball put him away. Up and away with a fastball goes Kohler. And Davis is a strikeout victim. That's number 4.
The best pitch for Davis to hit once again was the first pitch, a fastball outer half. Let that one go.
Elian Herrera at the plate, presented by Wendy's. I'm a little distracted by a very aggressive or oblivious bird.
In front of the Brewers dugout.
That dude, he's just been hanging out. He's been hanging around behind home plate. A base hit for Herrera, the rally bird.
You know what he's after down there, don't you? All the sunflower seeds. The guys are probably flipping him sunflower seeds, and he's having a field day.
At what point does the bird get a little spooked by all the activity around him, though? You know what I mean?
Once he gets too close to the baseline.
I mean, it's just a smorgasbord down there for a bird. He's a risk taker. That's for sure. There he goes. 2 on, 1 out.
Mike Guerrero got a little bit too close to him.
I mean, you know, you just don't see many birds hanging out on the field. There's too much going on. Maybe he's good luck. Ouch. Segura hit by a pitch. So Kohler trying to come inside. That will load the bases here with 1 away.
Well, 6th time that Segura's been hit by a pitch. 2 of those have come in the head. That'll shake you up a little bit. Segura not able to get out of the way. That one get him right on the back of the arm.
Ouch. Yeah, Segura normally opens up when he swings. He gets hit in the hands a lot when he does get hit. That was the right way to take a pitch, right? He turned back towards the catcher.
Yeah, protect your hands that way. The wrist, the hands. You can shake off those ones that hit you in the arm, but the wrist, the hands, that's a different story.
Maldonado on the first pitch, a base hit. In is Lind, making the turn. Herrera, the ball is bobbled in center field. Segura all the way to third base. The Brewers have taken the lead. Martin Maldonado drives in 2 with a single. 7-6 Milwaukee.
Yeah, good approach on a slider. First pitch slider for Martin Maldonado. Dumps it into center. Well, Kohler had himself a 4-0 lead. And now he finds himself behind. There you go, Martin. And it's going to be an error out in center field for Ozuna, getting Segura to third base. That's worth another look. Columbia St. Mary's. The Brewers, a base hit by Maldonado with the bases loaded. Take the lead.
There'll be a single, 2 RBIs, and then the error that allows Segura to third. And a meeting at the mound. Chuck Hernandez, the pitching coach. Tom Kohler has been the most consistent starter for the Marlins this season. Hernandez is their ace, but Kohler has pitched very well for him this year, so he is now trailing, and Craig Counsell is going to make a move here. Jason Rogers will pinch hit in the 5th inning. After all of that, Peralta could win this game. He's the pitcher of record.
Yeah, it was a battle, a royal battle for him all day today. And Craig Counsell figuring he's got a shot to get some runs in again, and Rogers coming off a big night at the plate last night.
First and third, one man out. Brewers now lead. Maybe it is the bird. The rally bird here in Milwaukee on a Wednesday.
Yeah, Brewers just kept pecking away.
Oh, nice. Well done. As has he. He's made his way into right field now. Final numbers on Willie Peralta: 5 innings, 8 hits, 6 runs, 5 were earned, 3 walks, 2 strikeouts. But his offense picking him up in a big way. He's got a chance to win this one. Rogers takes a ball. It's 3-0.
I figure he's going to get the green light the way he was swinging the bat last night. Hitting everything right on the barrel in last night's game.
Former Brewer Chris Narveson loosening. And Rogers walks on 4 pitches.
That's probably going to be it. Can't imagine Kohler staying out there. A couple of left-handers coming up. Narveson getting loose. Chuck Hernandez trying to find out if he's ready yet. Apparently not. He's asking his catcher or somebody to go out there and talk to him.
I think Shane Peterson told the Marlins catcher that his manager wants him to go to the mound.
And he wants you to go out there, stall for time to give Narveson an opportunity to get loose, getting ready for me.
Real Muto was not budging. I think Peterson told her, hey, I think your manager wants you. Oh, let me run out here real quick. Home plate umpire Ben May out there to break it up. A Wisconsin native, by the way, the home plate umpire, Racine native. Ben May. It's got to be a thrill for him to work games in Milwaukee. And now Jennings is out to make a pitching change. So he bought a little time for Narveson. Kohler is going to be out with 1 out in the 5th inning. 4 1/3, and a former Brewer is coming in. Left-hander Chris Narveson will take a timeout. Pitching change at Miller Park. The Brewers now have the lead. Is brought to you by Miller Lite, the original light Pilsner. Cheers, it's Miller time. And by the Wisconsin Lottery, reminding you to please play responsibly. What a day for the hitters today. We're only in the 5th. And there are 13 runs on the board. Brewers have just taken the lead. A 2 RBI single by Martin Maldonado. And a pitching change after a walk to Rogers. Chris Narveson, a familiar face on the mound here at Miller Park once again.
Yeah, picked up a win against the Cardinals after getting called up on August 5th. That win came a few days ago. It's his first win since April of 2012. So the year on the disabled list was 0-3 in 10 games, 4 starts with New Orleans this year.
And facing Shane Peterson, Brewers back to the top of their order. Peterson had a hit his last time up. He's 1 for 3. Every Brewer player today, position player, has at least been on. Most of them have hits. Foul pop. Prado wants it and makes a catch just over the rail. Nice play by Martin Prado. Peterson's out.
Yeah, a couple of sliders from Narveson. That time had Peterson out in front. That's a big out for the Marlins. Yeah, Peterson had the count in his favor, popped it up, and just over the railing. Prado able to make the play. Good defensive play by the Marlins third baseman.
Scooter Gennett taken out with the left-hander on the mound. Hernan Perez will bat. Just announcing Perez as the pinch hitter. So Perez against Narveson. With the bases loaded, 2 outs in the 5th. And in a game like this, when runs feel easy to come by, Counsell is trying to cash in on a few more here. He's playing matchup.
Perez has been pretty good against lefties this year.
And a little cue shot. D. Gordon out, and he's got it to end the inning. Narveson comes on, strands of bases loaded, but the rally bird is out, and the rally bird giving the Brewers a chance at a lead here. Martin Maldonado delivers after Lind and Herrera reached. It was the backup catcher with a 2 RBI single. 7-6 Milwaukee.
Hey, you can earn free Brewers tickets simply by filling up your car with gas. Fans who complete a BP Come On Back card by making 7 purchases of 8 or more gallons of gas at participating BP gas stations will earn a free Terrace Reserve ticket. Good for select Brewers games. Visit your local BP station for details.
Counsell making some changes here. Herrera will move over to second base. Perez, who pinch hit, will stay in. He plays third now. That's why Herrera moves. And there's a new pitcher on the mound, Corey Knebel, out of the Brewers pen. He'll have the 6th. 7-6. Brewers have the lead.
Yeah, Knebel pitched in last night's ball game and tossed a 3-up, 3-down inning.
And interesting that the Marlins manager brings Narveson on to pitch, but his spot leads off, and so Narveson has to bat to start this inning.
Well, the Marlins used a lot of their guys out of the bullpen yesterday. They used 5 relievers. So maybe wanting to give him a break, maybe get a little bit more out of Narveson, who was starting down in the minor leagues.
Ground ball right back to Knebel. One away here in the 6th inning.
I guess a little bit too early to be burning your bench and your bullpen, although the Marlins have 5 players on their bench and some pretty good hitters.
It's not automatic that you double switch, but usually managers, if they're looking for multiple innings out of a pitcher, will double switch. I guess Jennings feeling like it's one at bat and we're in the 6th inning and our offense is churning along well. So he doesn't want to disrupt those that are out there, disrupt the lineup at all. So keeps that pitcher in the 9th spot and suffers through one at bat. Now he's at the top of the order.
There you go, Realmuto. He was he made it second out of the 5th inning, or actually got a base hit. But Rojas, the shortstop, I would imagine he wants Echeverria to get a full day off. So kind of caught behind the 8 ball a little bit, allows Narveson to get in that bat.
Double switches are not as automatic in the era of analytics. Used to be just an automatic. You just did it because you're in the National League and the pitcher's coming up and you try to avoid that at bat. But I think the numbers are bearing out statistically the percentages that, the odds of getting a hit or getting on base are 30-35% range anyway. So there aren't great odds to start with as Gordon draws a walk. And you're asking for it by putting Gordon on. This guy ignited a run in the 1st. He had a single. He stole a base, went to 3rd on an error, and then immediately scored before most fans had even gotten to their seats here at Miller Park.
Yeah, difference maker on the bases. Got to make him hit his way on for sure. Of course, that hasn't worked too well this year. He's hitting .330.
And he's 1 for 3 today. Now he's on first with Prado at the plate. Prado, as a 2-hole hitter behind Gordon, knows patience is required to allow Gordon to run. Got to be a good 2-strike hitter to hit behind a great base stealer like D. Gordon, who's 2nd in the major leagues in steals, 2nd only to Billy Hamilton of the Reds. There he goes. And Maldonado's throw to 2nd is on the bag. The tag is in time.
Yeah, a good pitch to throw on. That wasn't a very good jump by D. Gordon. Took a while to get going. Gordon wants the Marlins to take a look at it. Every close play they take a look.
Yeah, what a throw.
Good throw by Maldonado, and well, that's going to be close.
It is close. Great camera work by our man Jesse down there. Bang, bang, it goes. Jennings is out to the top step, alerting the umpires he wants to give his people a chance to look at it.
Yeah, he has another challenge because he won the 1st.
Wow, that's a tough one to call. I'm not sure. Yeah, he's going to ask for it. I was just going to say, these close plays like this rarely get overturned, but Jennings feels like there's enough there. He's going to take a shot at it here in the 6th inning.
Yeah, why not? He wants to keep his fastest guy on the bases in scoring position. Took him a while to decide whether he wanted to go to a review. That took a lot longer than 30 seconds, I think. And it looks like he might be safe.
Yeah, that finger definitely across the base. It's tough to tell if he's making contact with the base, but if Segura just keeps the glove on him on the follow through slide, he's got
and that's the thing.
Sure out.
I mean, that's the thing. I mean, you got to just hold the tag, because you don't know about these replays. You can see D. Gordon way beyond the bag. Now Segura's got to keep the tag on him. That's what he has to do, and that's what these guys have been told over the last couple of years. Keep the tag on the runner all the way through the slide. If he goes off, then he's sure going to be out. You can't take that for granted. I mean, he was a good, what, 2-3 feet off the bag?
Yeah.
Why not just tag him?
The other question I have here is, as Gordon is sliding across with his hand, did he take his hand off the base while Segura still had the tag on his elbow?
All that, the point should be moved. The point should be moved because Segura needs to keep the glove on the body. And as D. Gordon goes over across second base, he's out automatically, and you're not even going to see a review. Just mistakes that the Brewers seem to be making that are inexcusable. I mean, D. Gordon is literally, what, 3 feet off of second base? Why not just go back there and tag him?
So instead we have a delay in the action as Dan Jennings challenges this call at second base. Calling umpire was Adrian Johnson. He has his back to us, number 80. And the crew chief is over there, Bill Miller, waiting word from the replay challenge center in New York. The rock clock is expired at this point.
There shouldn't even be a clock going on this one. I mean, once he goes beyond the bag, you just tag him and he's out, and nobody, and we're moving along here, but that's not the case. Takes too long. This is too long.
I tell you, that posture there by Bill Miller tells it all. He has no ability to make a call at this point. He's got to wait.
This is ridiculous at this point.
He's got his arms folded, and that's the thing about the umpires in New York. They're looking at all these angles. They forget, not that they forget, but there's an entire stadium full of people, a television audience. Everybody's waiting. And we're approaching 3.5 minutes. Finally, the call, and it is safe. And Gordon will return to second base.
And had Gene Segura just kept the tag on D. Gordon, the point had been moot. Not the case, though.
Second call that has been overturned today. One at first, one at second.
And another example, Craig Counsell's got to be just going livid in that dugout. I mean, he's probably handling it pretty well, pretty quiet, but I mean, you just can't make these mistakes and expect to win ball games. You just can't do it.
So now, runner at second with one out. And Prado in a 1-1 count. That took 3 minutes 29 seconds to come up with that answer. And a ground ball to Lynn. Backing up. He's got it. Knebel is there for him. 2 outs. Gordon had a big turn around third. Knebel bluffed him back. And with left-handed hitting Derek Dietrich coming up, Counsell is going to play matchup here in the 6th inning. So the Brewers are going to make a pitching change here. Counsell will call on his left-hander Neil Kotz to face Derek Dietrich. Timeout. We'll take a break. Set up the new hurler after this. But this inning is still alive. Marlins got a call overturned, and it's not Neil Cott's correction. It is Will Smith. So Counsell going to his late inning left-hander here in the 6th inning to try to maintain the lead with runners in scoring position, with Deke Gordon over at third base and Dietrich coming up.
No, Will Smith pitched in last night's ball game, and just like Corey Knebel, a 3-up 3-down 9th inning, and that included a couple of strikeouts. So looking for a big punch out here to Derek Dietrich.
And a couple of lefties due up, Dietrich and Bour. Starts him with a breaking ball. Misses outside. Dietrich's been a hot hitter. 2 more hits today. Dropped down a sac bunt his last time up. And a double in the first, singled in the third. He scored twice. That one's in there for a strike. And a big swing and a miss. He went with another breaking ball. And it's 1-2, a steady diet of off speed for Smith.
And he's got the curveball and the slider. I think that was the curveball that time.
See what he has here. Marlins have the tying run at third. Brewers have not had a lead since early in the series, the first game. Did not have a lead yesterday at all. Just got the lead here in the bottom of the 5th. Now we're in the 6th. The 1-2 pitch, a fastball down and in.
And tried to get him to chase the fastball. Good velocity for Will Smith as of late. The last dozen or so appearances, he's been touching 97. That last one at 95 on the off the inside corner.
And he got him. Maldonado blocks it. Has to secure the strikeout. Does so. Smith punches out Dietrich and strands the tying run at third base. 7-6. Brewers still lead. Will Smith coming on, doing a great job. Got the strikeout he was looking for in the matchup. Yeah, Smith fired up. Brewers coming up, bottom of the 6th inning. Two home runs here today, 5 runs batted in. And a reminder that every weeknight, don't miss MLB Whip Around on Fox Sports 1 with highlights, instant analysis, and live look-ins from around the league. MLB Whip Around is weeknight, 6 p.m. Central. It's on Fox Sports 1 and streaming live on Fox Sports Go. What a game here today. Hadn't been the prettiest game. A lot of mistakes made by both teams. But the Brewers are on top right now. Chris Narveson came on for the Marlins last inning and settled down a Brewer rally with Tyre Peterson and Perez to end the inning. Let's just go figure game today. Tom Kohler has been one of the better pitchers the Marlins have had. He gives up 7 earned runs today. Willie Peralta gives up 6 runs, and now 6 of them are earned. They went back and changed a call from the 5th inning. Dietrich was originally given a sac bunt. That is now going to go as an infield hit, which makes that 6th run earned on Peralta.
Yeah, that's what I had down initially, but then it was called a sacrifice, and I'm going to go back and change it again.
There you go. Braun into right field. Sounded good. That's way back there. And goodbye. Braun hammers one off the facing of the Lowe's level. And he stands alone as the franchise home run leader, number 252 in his career. Ryan Braun is the Brewers all-time home run leader now by himself. His 22nd of the season. It gives the Brewers an 8-6 lead. And a curtain call for Ryan Braun.
It's got to be a great moment for Ryan. Still one of the best hitters in the game, and doing it like he's been doing it all season long into right field.
So the Brewers were able to get that ball back. Luke Croy retrieved it out of the Marlins bullpen. Now Ryan Braun is the all-time home run leader now for the Brewers off a former Brewer, Chris Narveson, and he knew it.
Not many right-handers hit him up there off the facing of the second deck out there in right.
Lind, a wave and a miss, strikes out for the first out.
Just incredible power to the opposite field. There it is. They'll never forget that one.
And with every home run he hits, it'll establish a new franchise record. Ryan Braun breaks from the tie with Yount, which he achieved on Sunday with that grand slam against the Phillies. Davis rolls one to short. And there is out number 2. Braun's first home run was in his second major league game, 2007. And after number 252, a curtain call.
He's given us some great moments here at Miller Park, hasn't he? Dramatic home runs. And that might be one of his favorites right there.
How many will he hit? That's a question. If you figure if he's going to go for 20, 25 a year, let's just say conservatively hits 20 a year if he stays healthy, and he does play out this contract. I mean, you're looking at 100 to 150 more home runs, you figure, as long as he stays healthy. But you can't take anything for granted in this game.
No.
You never know when you played your last game or had your last at bat. You never know.
That's the way it is for everybody, right?
And so Braun has the record by himself. Tied it Sunday. Stands alone here today.
It's just a matter of whether that thumb's going to be able to hold up. I mean, he got that shot before the All-Star break. Freezing that nerve in the thumb, and yeah, so far so good. He's been swinging the bat well since.
I'd say 300 is likely. He could do that next season, even as Herrera draws a walk. 400 is realistic. He's going to have to continue to stay healthy and be in the lineup. He knows he's in the lineup, and when he's healthy, I think the thumb, you're right. That's a great point, because that thumb injury.
And that's one jam shot away from just blowing up on him. And right, you never know. But let him enjoy 252 for the time being.
Well, no doubt. And whatever he does, he'll have the franchise mark for home runs. So it goes Braun, Yount, Fielder now. Fielder hit 230 in his Brewers career. Thing about Braun, he's added the speed element to it as well. You know, he's 2 stolen bases shy of a 20 stolen base season to go along with his 22 home runs.
And he's been playing very hard. I mean, it's been a rough season for the team, and Ryan Braun setting a good example for the rest of his teammates to give that effort. He's been out there just about every day and playing hard out in right field. He's trying to take the extra bases, steal bases, and man, that's what leaders have to do when times are tough. Got to step up.
Talking with Darnell Coles, the Brewer hitting coach. Braun has achieved a 2020 year on 3 occasions. Last did it in 2012. His MVP year he did it. And he's 2 stolen bases away from doing it this year. Braun is very respectful of Robin Yount, what he accomplished, and the fact that Yount played his career at County Stadium. Narveson, nice play, and he'll take care of Segura to end the inning. But we have a little history at Miller Park, at least for now. With every home run, Braun's going to establish a new franchise home run record. He's got it all by himself from here on out. Number 252 for Ryan Braun. Has 2. Braun has a history-making home run. And the Brewers have an 8-6 lead. Ryan off Chris Narveson in the 6th to add to the lead. Brewers were down at one point 4-0 in this game. Now they lead by 2. We go to the 7th inning. Will Smith continues. Big Justin Bour leads off for the Marlins. Smith striking out Dietrich with the tying run at third base last inning. And we'll continue here. There is activity in the bullpen. Brewers have a day off tomorrow.
That's empty out the pen, and Craig Counsell is hoping to get the rest of the way with Smith, Jefferson, K-Rod. That's all he hopes he needs to use tonight or today.
And might have to bridge those innings as well. Little half swing. He goes 1-2 on Bour. Got him. Smith with back-to-back strikeouts. The lefties in the middle of the Marlins order. First out here in the 7th inning.
Yeah, I think the fact that the Brewers now have a 2-run lead kind of opens the door for Craig Counsell to stick with Smith a little bit longer. Had it been a 1-run game, you might see Jeremy Jefferson right now. And you see that slider off the outside corner, and with 2 strikes, Bour trying to protect the plate.
Marcell Ozuna now with 1 away. Well, ideally, if Smith can have a clean inning here, you get him through the 7th. You'd have Jeffers for the 8th. That would be plan A for Craig Counsell. But he's got Jeffers loosening just in case any trouble. Smith did pitch last night. Worked a scoreless inning. Did strike out a couple. Not real worried about overuse at this point, especially with all the off days coming up. Ball and a strike on Ozuna. In there, strike 2.
Man, he leaves Smith in there against the right-handers, and there's a reason for that. Smith has an opponent batting average against right-handers at 144. That's pretty good. That's better than he does against lefties.
Ozuna just got called back up on the 15th of August when Christian Yelich went on the DL with a knee injury. And on the ground, nice play. Smith, nimble, picks it clean and gets his man at first. 2 outs in the inning.
That big man able to get down and get that grounder.
That ball wasn't hit all that well. If it gets by Smith, probably going to be an infield hit for Ozuna, who runs well. Carsuit.com trivia. Remember this one? Who led to the majors in pinch hits and set the Brewers single season record with 22 and 0-2? That would be Lenny Harris, third base coach of the Marlins.
Yep, that was a rough season for the Brewers. 2002.
But you had Lenny Harris.
He had a lot of pinch hits, not just that year.
He's a great pinch hitter.
Yeah.
Gillespie takes a ball up and away.
That's good work if you can find it. You know, make a career. Pretty much made his career as a pinch hitter.
Hard to do.
Very hard. That's why not many can make a career out of doing it.
Two balls and a strike on Cole Gillespie. Has 2 hits today, including an RBI double in the 3rd. Marlins led 4-0. Then they led 5-2 at one point. Chris Davis with 2 home runs and 5 runs batted in. Martin Maldonado gave the Brewers the lead with a 2 RBI single in the 5th. And then Braun just homered in the 6th to give him a 2-run lead. 10 hits for the Crew. And Smith walks Gillespie. And we'll see what Counsell does here.
And this might be the end of the line for Will Smith with a man on base. It brings the tying run to the plate, and here comes Craig Counsell.
And he's going to force him into a double switch. He was hoping Smith could get through it clean, but he cannot. And now Counsell is going to make a double switch. Logan Schaefer's coming in. Probably slide Peterson over to left field, and Davis is coming out. And that's what he'll do. So Davis will exit with 2 home runs and 5 runs batted in. Brewers with a lead. Will tighten up the D. And we'll take a timeout and set up Jeffress when we come back. 8-6 Brewers, 2 outs in the 7th. trying to snuff it out and get to the end of this frame. Logan Schaefer comes on to play center field, moves Peterson over to left field. Davis is out, and on the double switch in comes Jeremy Jeffress.
Yeah, Jeremy Jeffress putting together a nice season. 54th appearance, a 309 earned run average. He's got one out to get here in the 7th, and I would imagine that he's going to continue in the 8th. Got the bottom half of the order to deal with here against the Marlins.
And one out to get through this 7th inning. Gillespie just walked. He's at first. Here's JT Realmuto. Realmuto with a walk, a stolen base, and a run scored in the 2nd, and then had an infield hit in the 5th inning on what looked like a routine ground ball over to third base, but he runs well and he beat it out. Into left, hit well. On the run is Peterson, and he's got it for the out. Just before he got to the wall, Realmuto gave it a ride, but the inning is over and Jeffress gets through the 7th. Brewers still lead. Stretch time at Miller Park. Promised earlier in the game, we have selected the Data Strong fan photo of the game. You can tweet your strongest fan photo to hashtag #WisDataStrongFan, and it comes to us from Nate today. I think Nate's the tall one. That's what I'm going with. It's brought to you by T-Mobile, and we are undefeated this year, choosing who the tweet comes from.
Yeah, you've been good at that.
Haven't missed one all year.
You have been solid, rock solid.
Here's Maldonado. He had a big hit for the Brewers. It gave him the lead back in the 5th inning. Martin, the backup catcher, get a chance to play about once a week right now and make the most of it.
If that even. That's a big hit he got his last time up.
Well, if the Brewers bullpen can finish the job here, it will be the hit that allows his good buddy Willie Peralta to win the game.
And that's what the Brewers like about Maldonado. I mean, maybe, he really didn't play as well as he'd like when he was playing every day, when Lucroy was on a disabled list. When you can find a catcher who can handle himself well behind home plate and get something done, or at least contribute offensively when he played maybe once every 8 or 9 days. Maldonado with a hit, a couple of RBIs, a walk, and for one brief second threw out a base runner. He can make a real good living these days being a good backup catcher.
Yep, no doubt. You came along a decade too early, Rock.
I did just fine. I got the most out of what I had to offer. I got no complaints. It worked out well for me.
Hey, you're in the Brewers Wall of Honor.
That's right. I'm up here doing games, watching Brewers baseball. I wouldn't do a thing differently.
As a called strike 3, Maldonado is rung up. Narveson, his old battery mate, rings the bell, and 1 away here in the 7th inning. Here's Logan Schaefer. It's good to see Narveson back on the mound. I thought his career was in jeopardy, and with that second shoulder surgery that he had, Narveson ended up going to Japan. He was hurt early in the season, 13. Hadn't pitched in the big leagues in 2 years since returning this year. But he went to Japan last season, got his arm back healthy again. He said that second year, which is this year, the second year really has made a difference. He feels great. Feels like he could pitch for a lot of years now.
Well, have left hand will travel, right? I mean, the left hand, you get lefties out, and you're going to stick around in the game as long as you're healthy. And kind of a swing guy. He was like that with the Brewers as well. Made some starts. He had some good runs, and he can work out of the bullpen.
Two and two to Schaefer. His first at bat. Came in on the double switch. Jeffers coming on to get the final out. Deep fly ball out off the bat of Real Muto. And the Brewers still lead by 2. Jeffers will head back out for the 8th. And a ground ball through, a base hit. Schaefer with a single with 1 away.
Well, Logan hanging right in there and able to get the base hit. Left-handed pitcher. Been swinging the bat better since his return to the big leagues. Watch that front shoulder. Doesn't budge. Fastball away and able to find the hole between first and second. So good speed on the bases. Brewers like to get some insurance runs.
Peterson swinging away at the first pitch. Shane now the left fielder. 1 for 4 today. Had a base hit in the 4th inning. It snapped an 0 for 14 run for him. His first real slump since he's been here at the big leagues.
Well, he's getting a good look. Playing a lot every day since the trades. He's been doing a pretty good job out in center field.
By no means his position. That's thrown away. Schaefer around second. He'll hold up there. And Narveson with a throwing error on a pickoff attempt. That puts a Brewer into scoring position. E1.
Not even close. That's some crazy looking throws to first base we've seen this year. Where's that one going?
Threw him a slider, I think.
Good job by Mike Guerrero to get out of the way. Did you see how quick he was on his feet? Check this out. All right, Mikey.
Little double Dutch right there. Ball to strike now. Peterson a chance to drive in a run. Sounds like we got a trade cooking up. Our Ken Rosenthal is reporting that the Phillies and the Dodgers are working on a deal that would send Chase Utley to the Dodgers. He would be reunited with Jimmy Rollins. How about that? Howie Kendrick is the second baseman there. So it'll be interesting to see what role. Dodgers are in progress today. They're in Oakland. 2-1. The Dodgers have the lead. Dodgers lost to the A's yesterday in 10 innings. 5-4. And the Giants shut out the Cardinals yesterday, so that race just got a little tighter. Giants are just 2 back. Peterson draws the walk. 2 on now with 1 away. That'll be a big trade. There's been all kind of talk and discussion about Chase Utley. 10 years in the major leagues, 5 with the same team. They call it a 10-5 rights. He has a full no trade, and he's not been willing to go anywhere else. He did play his college ball at UCLA, and I guess he approved the trade to the Dodgers. That's what Ken Rosenthal is reporting right now.
Be hard to turn that down, wouldn't it? Go into first place. Well, we've seen it before.
Nothing official, however. Dan Jennings is on his way out. Gonna make a pitching change here. So with Perez coming up, Dan Jennings started to walk to the mound, and now I think he's changed his mind and wants to make a double switch. Normally you got to go to the home plate umpire first. Jennings was almost to the mound. I'm not sure what that boundary is where you can't make a double switch, but
I think it's the mound itself.
It was getting close. They were hollering out of the dugout for him. So he will make a double switch. Ichiro's coming in. And we'll have a pitching change here in the 7th inning. Brewers threatening with 1 man out. We'll set up the new hurler when we come back. Ellington will appear for the 2nd time. Ichiro is going to come into play right field. That'll be a double switch. And Brian Ellington will face Hernan Perez with Braun on deck. The Brewers have 2 on, trying to add to their 2-run lead.
Yeah, we saw Ellington in last night's ball game. So Miles going through some relievers yesterday and today. Yeah, Ellington 2/3, did not allow a run, but gave up a couple of hits. I should say 1 hit and 2 runs.
Hernan Perez Got a pinch hit appearance, and he's seen 2 pitches, 2 swings. This is going to be an out to right. Two outs in the inning. And here comes Ryan Braun. He's in our Marshfield Clinic shining moment. 6th inning, off Narveson. Home run bangs off the Lowe's level facing, and that home run gives him the franchise home run record all by himself. Broke from Robin Yount. Braun now at 252 career home runs here in Milwaukee.
Now hit another one, put this one out of reach. Is that asking too much?
I don't think so. That made it 8-6. I think what is hard to define is what is out of reach with these two teams.
I was just getting ready to say, I mean, nothing's out of reach, is it? Not just these two teams, baseball in general these days. I mean, how many times you see somebody coming back from 6-7 runs down?
Well, Braun hit his 22nd home run of the year in the 6th inning. That moves him inside the top 10 in the league in that category. Now 73 runs batted in for Braun. Braun is 6th in the National League in RBIs now. A strike, 2-1. Ryan's also in the top 5 in runs scored. He's having a good year. Needed this kind of year. Relatively healthy. And that one trip to Los Angeles for the they call it cryotherapy injection, which numbs the nerve in that thumb. That allows him to swing the bat, go through his regular steps in his batting practice without the pain. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Brewers lead by 2, and Ellington making sure Schaefer stays put.
I doubt anybody's going to be running with Braun at the plate. Stay right there. He'll drive you in.
And a bouncer fair, third base. Prado goes straight to the bag to end the inning. So it's still 8-6. We are through 7 at Miller Park, headed to the 8th inning now. baseball, and so are the Marlins today. Justin Bour hitting a long home run. Got out of here in a hurry. That was a 2-run shot in the first, but then Chris Davis, 2-run home run, second inning, and then a 3-run home run in the third inning. 2 pitches, 2 swings, 2 innings, had 5 RBIs, and then Braun, the historic home run that gets him the franchise mark for home runs in a career.
There's not too many right-handed hitters that can hit him that far to the opposite field. Ryan Braun does it routinely.
Well, the Brewers have the lead going to the 8th.
You know those kids?
Jeremy Jeffress will be on the mound. The 2 that we're on.
Do you know?
I believe
familiar.
I believe I might. I believe I know both of them.
That's Maddie.
That's Maddie. That's my daughter. In the Navy top.
She flying solo? She drive here by herself?
No, she's not quite there yet, but that could happen. She's driving.
How you doing with that?
Not so well. I'm trying to remain calm.
How's the car doing?
So it's just a few little scratches. They grow up fast. I'll never forget. I don't want to throw my daughter under the bus here, but
go ahead, please.
The Ryan Braun home run theme exists, right? So in 08, when he hit that famous grand slam, remember that was an extra inning game, and she was little. So she's in the booth at that night, and I remember her saying, "Oh no, extra innings! I want to go home." And he hits this home run, which was, I mean, remember how dramatic that home run was.
Yeah.
That was so impressive, and all she thought about was she gets to get home. It's a game ender. We all felt the same way, but she didn't have quite the concept of a pennant race back then. And she's here for another historic Braun home run. Probably has no idea.
I bet she does. Come on, she's a smart kid.
I doubt it. She's very smart. Roll her over to Lynn, and Jeffress is there. That's a nice easy out for Jeremy Jeffress. Remember, he came on to get the final out of the 7th inning, so counsel asking 4 outs out of Jeremy Jeffress. And now we'll have to deal with Ichiro. Ichiro just came in on the double switch. His first at bat, had 4 hits yesterday.
And we were asking a question, just kind of throwing it out there. How many 4-hit games he's had? 51.
Wow.
51.
The number on his back.
4-hit games, and he had 10 4-hit games in 2004. Something else.
He's been a great hitter for a long time. Chopper up the middle. This is going to be a tough play. Herrera gloves, throws. How about that? Elion Herrera. That was impressive. Ichiro still runs well. He knew he had to hurry, and that was in and out of his glove in a flash.
Off balance and making a good throw over to Adam Lynn. Check this throw out. Sidearm and gets him by his step.
Man.
Nice soft hands on the backhand pickup, and look at the throw. Right on the money.
The exchange from glove to throwing hand. What as good as you can do it. 2 outs in the inning. Top of the order now, D. Gordon. Gordon with a hit in the first inning. He walked his last time up. He has 2 stolen bases. This is a guy you have to keep off the base paths, although the Brewers do have a 2-run lead, and that helps.
And it still creates a lot of problems for you. Your defense, you got to be aware of him, taking off, opens up some holes. And
he's chasing, but he fouled it off. I think that got a piece of Maldonado as well.
He's had troubles with the curveballs. We saw Willie Peralta strike him out in the 2nd inning on a breaking pitch in the dirt. Maybe that's how you pitch him.
See where that got Maldonado here. It looked like it maybe got him right on the thumb. or the bare hand somewhere.
Doesn't hurt yet. Maybe later.
He's asking Jeffers to shake off a few times. The 0-2 pitch, and it's lined into right field. That is fair. Down into the corner it goes, and the speedy Gordon is in fifth gear all the way around to third base. Man, is he flying. Wow.
Well, it was a curveball, but Jeffers left it upstairs that time, and D. Gordon able to line it down that right field line. Some kind of hitter. My goodness, the way he's been swinging the bat this year. Didn't get that one down in the dirt like he did the one before, and D. Gordon made him pay for it, and this is not even breaking a sweat getting around to third base.
That's his 7th triple of the season, and is now tied with Joey Votto for the most multi-hit games this year. He has 42 of them, and that's going to bring the tying run to the plate. Martin Prado with Gordon at third base. 8-6 Brewers, 8th inning. Prado ahead in the count. Bullpen is quiet. This is Jeffers' inning here. Got a couple of lefties coming up next. Remember, Council's already used Will Smith. And a swing and a miss, 2-1.
Yeah, just threw it right by him. Pitch out of the strike zone.
Neil Kotz went an inning and a third yesterday. I'm guessing Council would rather not use Neil Kotz, or he probably would have used him in the 6th inning and then saved Smith.
Yep, it's Jefferson, K-Rod. Hopefully that'll be it.
A swing and a miss, back up there again. 2-2 the count.
How high will he go?
Our folks in the truck rock just checked the elapsed time from D. Gordon home to third. 11 seconds.
Wow.
Home to third. That's about as fast as you can do it.
Yeah.
He's 90 feet away. Prado the tying run, and he takes a ball low. Full count. That was a 2-strike triple by D. Gordon.
And this is the guy you want. You don't have to deal with that lefty. Dietrich's been swinging the bat pretty well today.
Here's a payoff and a swing and a foul. He chased that high fastball.
Again, he doesn't chase the low fastball, but that pitch up around his eyes he's going after. Able to foul it off.
Jeffers will try it again. 3-2 the count on Prado. And that one's in the air. A little lazy pop up. Herrera's back calling, and he's got it to end the inning. Good work by Jeremy Jeffers. 4 big outs for the Brewers. And we're headed to the bottom of the 8th. Brewers lead by 2.
Live postgame. A lot of good storylines. Of course, Braun, 252. Home run today. All-time leader now in sole possession of first place. And the bullpen's done a nice job holding the Marlin hitters in check and allowing Willie Peralta to be in line for a win.
That's right. And, I think the bullpen over the last 2 days have done an outstanding job to come in and really cool off these hot bats from the Marlins.
Okay, we're going to hear from Craig Counsell and the Brew crew coming up on Brewers Live postgame. Brian?
All right, thanks a lot, Craig and Davey. Now the Marlins jumping out of the gates quick. 3 runs in the first inning after they beat the Brewers 9-6 last night. Brewers' biggest comeback to win a game. They were down 4, and they were down 4-0 in this game, so it's happened 3 times. And trying to do just that here today. Took the lead on a Martin Maldonado single in the 5th inning. 7-6. Braun made it 8-6. That's where we sit here in the bottom of the 8th. Lynn's had a good day. 2 hits and a walk. He scored 3 runs. He was on base for both Chris Davis home runs. Davis is the star today with 5 ribbies. And Davis tied it with that 3-run homer in the 3rd when the Brewers were down 5-2. Lynn hits another one sharply into the gap right center field. A 1-hopper off the wall. Lynn trying to stretch it for 2. Does so. It's a double.
Oh, that guy can hit. He's something. He can hit.
It's his 3rd hit of the day and his 4th trip on base.
Man, tomahawked a high fastball and hit that one hard into the gap out there. Check this out. Pitch up out over the plate, and Adam Lynn with a nice easy swing, and just jumps off his bat into that gap and had to hustle to get into second base. Be a nice run to pick up right here from Milwaukee.
And Counsell with the pitcher spot now due up. Pitcher spot now in the 5th spot in the order. Will send Jonathan Lucroy to the plate.
The bench now empty for Milwaukee.
Schaefer, Perez, Rogers, and now Lucroy. Everybody plays today on the position player side of things. And Lucroy down 0-2. Brewers will take tomorrow off. Got a series with the Washington Nationals starting up on Friday. Traveling tomorrow night. Washington will play the Phillies at home tomorrow. They've got 4 against the Phillies coming up. And then 4 against the Pirates. They've got an 8-game homestand coming. And then the Brewers are going to see the Marlins again. That's going to be a series in September 7th, 8th, and 9th. Lucroy 0-2. Got a runner at second. Lind, and down he goes. A strikeout. Big fastball, 98 miles an hour from Ellington.
Yep, a little off the outside corner, and Luke not able to hold up. Hey, next time you're at Miller Park, make sure to check out the seat upgrade feature located within the MLB.com ballpark app. You can upgrade your seat to exclusive areas such as the club level, dugout box, or even right behind home plate. Download the app today, free for your smartphone or tablet.
1 out. Here is Herrera. Elion with 2 hits and a walk today. Scored a run. Terrific play at second base. Hard throwing 25-year-old Ellington, Brian Ellington. Wonder if any of his teammates would get the Duke reference.
I don't think any of them are old enough to know who Duke Ellington was. I don't think even Ellington knows who Duke was.
Surely by now he does. It's probably come up.
I got Duke on my iPhone.
Is that right?
I like it.
Nice.
I like the that era of music. Good stuff. Classic.
Is that right next to your Bing Crosby rotation?
And ABBA.
Well, that doesn't quite fit.
No, it doesn't. Kind of a contradiction, isn't it?
From the great jazz era, Duke Ellington. 2-1 pitch and a swing and a miss. Lind at second base. 2-2 is the count. And Herrera stays alive on a changeup. Ellington is a homegrown Marlin. He was a 16th round draft pick. Small college, went to the University of West Florida there in Pensacola. And he's found some velocity and starting to become a pitcher now as opposed to a thrower, and made his way to the big leagues. This is his 8th game as a major leaguer here today. Just got called up.
One of those high 3/4. He slings that baseball. A long armor.
A lot of strikeouts and a lot of walks coming up through the Marlins minor league system. About a strikeout per inning and about 5 walks per 9 innings. Did he go? He did. Herrera strikes out. Bill Miller rings him up. Back-to-back strikeouts for Ellington. And here comes Gene Segura now with 2 away. Brewers have gotten great work out of their bullpen here today. Marlins scored runs in each of the first 3 innings and 4 of the first 5 innings, but they have not scored since the 5th. Good work by the bullpen today. Knebel, then Smith. Jeffress goes an inning and a third. Peralta gave up all 6 runs, all of them earned, but he's in line for the win still. Brewers took the lead in the bottom of the 5th inning after Peralta completed his 5th inning. Ooh, almost hit him again. Segura was hit by a pitch in the 5th.
Almost got hit again. He has a lot of near misses this year. I haven't been hit by that many pitches. I think it's 6 hit by pitch. Not sure how he got out of the way of that one.
Two and two. Oh, Adam Lind still at second base, had a leadoff double. Got a few day games going on today in the big leagues. Aside from ours, Dodgers A's have moved to the 6th. A's have a lead 3-2 over Los Angeles. Braves and Padres are still in progress. 1-0 Atlanta. That game's in the 5th. Segura, right field. Ichiro is back. And that will retire the side. Brewers spoil a leadoff double. K-Rod coming on. Save opportunity. We head to the 9th inning. The home run ball has played a key role in the game today. The Brewers have hit 3. Davis with 2 homers and 5 RBIs, and Ryan Braun with a home run that gets him atop the franchise record books for career homers. Brewers baseball presented by Potawatomi Hotel and Casino. Book your stay now. Starting to cloud up a little bit. It's been a beautiful Wednesday afternoon, and the Brewers are 3 outs away from a win here in the final game of the series and a winning homestand. K-Rod on to try to nail it down. This would be his 30th. He's got a 2-run lead to work with. Not just 29 for 29 this year, but Frankie Rodriguez has saved 34 straight going back to last season.
Well, last pitched on Sunday, picked up save number 29 against the Phillies. Well, you had to get 1 out to do it.
And a ground ball right there is Segura. Dietrich is retired. 1 away for Francisco Rodriguez.
Well, it's been the fastball location for Frankie Rodriguez this year. Been very good. Gets ahead in the count with good fastballs on the corners, and then goes to work with that changeup once he gets ahead in the count. Can't pitch much better than he has this year.
They'll face Justin Bour. Interesting that the Brewers, with all of their offense today, 8 runs on 12 hits, they've stranded 11 in this game. And they needed that kind of offensive day today. Davis and Braun, the big bats. Martin Maldonado had a key hit, 2 RBI single that gave the Brewers the lead. Well, Willie Peralta has had a lot of games where he has pitched well and not gotten a win. He's 2 outs away from not pitching well and earning a victory here today. Would be back-to-back wins for Peralta. after surrendering 6 earned runs in 5 innings. But his bats picked him up. There's a curveball strike. 1-2 the count on Bour. Bour's driven in 3 today. He hit a 2-run homer in the first. Marlins had a 3-0 lead in the first and then upped it to 4-0 with a run in the second. Didn't miss by much.
There's that fastball location we're talking about. Right off, just off the edge, and Bour able to take it. Probably full. Probably scouting report thing is going to give you change-ups, and he just misses that outside corner.
Well, Foxtrac's had it off the plate. Two balls, 2 strikes. Tying run on deck for the Marlins, and Bour able to lay off. That was K-Rod's best changeup, right where he wanted it, and give credit to Bour for taking that one.
He gets a lot of swings on that pitch.
And he went this time. K-Rod backed him up. Bour strikes out. 2 outs in the inning.
Well, he took it the first time, and it was a pretty impressive take, and I don't think Bour thought he was going to throw back-to-back changeups. But he did and got him on the check swing.
Don't forget, Brewers Nationals starting Friday. Miller Lite, what's on tap? Got Nelson, Youngman, and Garza going in that series. Gio Gonzalez, Joe Ross, and Jordan Zimmerman, the Wisconsin native. Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Sunday's a matinee. Marlins down to their last out. Here is Ozuna. Ozuna is 0 for 4. Frankie Rodriguez looking for his 30th save of the season. In the air, center field, hit well. Schaefer is going back, and he is out of room. Way back. Home run. Marcell Ozuna. And it is a 1-run game. 8-7 Brewers.
Fastball and 88 miles an hour. Ozuna able to hit it hard out there. Well, got a lot to play with the fastball. You don't see too much of that out of Rodriguez this year. So the insurance run paying off big. There it is, right down the middle. Marlins to within 1.
Well, he's got big power, Ozuna. Marlins thought he was going to be a star, and he still might be. They offered him a big contract, multi-year deal. He turned it down. Struggled this year, and they actually sent him to the minor leagues. He just got back here a couple of days ago. So here is McGee with 2 outs. Casey McGee pinch hitting. Started the year with the Giants. Ended up with the Marlins with the emergence of Matt Duffy in San Francisco. One ball, 1 strike. There are 4 pitchers in the National League with 30-plus saves. Rosenthal and Melanson tied for the league lead with 37. Craig Kimbrell and Jurius Familia of the Mets. Now the other 2, K-Rod trying to join that group. 1 ball, 1 strike. And a curveball in there for a strike.
Man, that's a nice pitch right there. All right, now what do you look for if you're McGee? You know he's up there looking changeup. Fastball, and then this one. Curveball right on the corner.
McGee has big power to the opposite field. 1 strike away. And he got him. A swing and a miss. The Brewers win. Frankie Rodriguez with his 30th save.